Hi, my gorgeous Cancer Moon children family. And as always, I'm so happy to be sitting down with you here for June. You all are family to me, and this is one of my favorite spaces to spend time in. So appreciative of Cancerian energy. Very exciting too, because on June 2nd, Venus enters Cancer. That's my natal placement, so I love Venus and Cancer energy. You better believe I'm all about that. So I love that most of this month we're going to have Venus in your sign. It's a really beautiful place to nurture, to go deep into that self-mothering, self-love energy. If I've ever known it, it's right there. It is just such comforting, good, healing energy. So excited for that. And I think it's interesting too, because June is a dynamic month for Cancerians, and this year we have the eclipses happening, and we have a Mercury retrograde. So like we have the solar eclipse, new moon in Gemini on June 10th, and we also, up until basically Cancer season, and in a couple days in, we have Mercury retrograde as well in your neighboring sign of Gemini. And so there's this energy moving through Gemini for the first 3 weeks of this month, and that's really incubation cocoon time for Cancers generally, especially if like it's your birthday coming up, which happy birthday. My husband's birthday is in late June, and I'm just really excited for that Cancerian energy to start working its magic. I am like ready now. Can we go there now? But the first 3 weeks, as we work through Gemini season, as we work through the Mercury retrograde, as we work through eclipse season, it's going to be a time of incubation. It's going to be a time of dreaming, resetting, connecting in, noticing what's starting to come up and out of like your spiritual core. It's a really beautiful place. And also with this Venus and Cancer energy moving through, self-nurturing, self-mothering. So really your top priority, especially during Gemini season, and I'd say into Cancer season obviously as well, is making sure you are taking care of yourself. For everybody, it's going to look a little different. Some of you, you're going to be noticing what you're dreaming up next. You know, big dreams are coming up for as you are opening, as you're shedding this next layer and opening to your coming year. You will be finding new inspirations. For some of you, maybe you are working through and releasing some old traumas, some old stressors. However you're working with that cocoon energy, just make sure that you're taking that time out for yourself if you can. So important. And then of course it's Cancer season, and it's the solstice, and the sun is in Cancer. This is like one of the most magical times of year ever. It's giving me chills right now to talk about it. I find that the solstice is such a beautiful check-in point. And I think especially for anybody with their sun in Cancer or strong placements in Cancer, you know, this is such a powerful time of like owning who you are, checking in with who you are today and loving on it. And in that modality, I just want to, and I also want to mention, we have a little bit more of Mars in your sign at the beginning of the month, then it's moving on to Leo. And we also have Neptune and Jupiter moving retrograde in your fellow water sign of Pisces. So this is going to be 9th house, big vision energy of review. But I wanted to say a note. There's just so much to talk about, you guys. I don't even know where to start. Okay. I've been thinking about the message that came up with all this cocoon energy and the self-mothering energy and self-love energy and really owning who you are now. A message came up for me about self-editing. I think, you know, it's a double-edged sword being a nurturing, amazing, magical, sensitive person, right? Because on the one hand, it makes you so good at taking care of situations, of others, making things happen, getting it done. You know, like you guys are like the ultimate, like, facilitators for different things in life. But how, you know, on the other hand, that ability to be able to accommodate so many different energies, to take care of things, to figure it out, to move in the ways that need to be getting done, can end up being self-editing. I was having this thought. I was realizing something. This is kind of like a small example of it, I guess. But a few years ago, I was doing my readings, as I'm always doing, sitting here, and one of the days that I was working, talking, I had a cup of coffee. And I was just enjoying sipping it while I was talking. And somebody mentioned in the comments, oh, well, you drinking that coffee was really distracting. And, everybody's allowed to have their opinion. But for some reason, I took that message to heart with me. And I rarely have beverages in my readings, if ever, especially in my readings, because somebody said that they felt it was distracting for me to have coffee in my videos. And, I self-edited. Page of Wands, hi! I like that. That's a card of just be who you are. Let your freak flag fly, my friends. I let an opinion, a voice, choose for me how I was going to show up in my own discussions. And I didn't even really think about it, because when it happened, this was years ago, it's probably 3 years ago, I just took the note and I just edited myself. And then I just never really went back to look at it. But recently I've been thinking about ways. 9 of Swords. I've been thinking about places where I feel like I'm trying to make it okay for everyone. I want to make everything okay for everyone all the time. And I'm not going to project that issue of mine onto you, but if you are somebody who you love, fully, and you tend to have a theme of wanting to make things okay for everyone, this month, this cocoon time, this reset time, this nurturance time, this time of preparation before Cancer season, and then as we move into the beauty and the splendor, Knight of Cups, is a time to re-own who you are, right? Not who people expect you to be, not the obstacle course that you have in your mind about what you need to jump through in order to be, the best version of yourself, whatever that is. We want to just put that all down, get off the obstacle course and be a little kinder to ourselves. 6 of Wands, triumph in the end. Oh, I love this reading. I love these cards. This is such a powerful conversation we're going to be having here today with the tarot cards. We can't make others feel safe by lessening a sense of safety in ourselves. I think the best way, if we want to offer that to the world, right, we have to offer that sense of safety and security to ourselves, which means healthy boundaries, which means saying what you need, which means expressing your preferences, which means taking the time to note what are your preferences now, this month, as we enter Cancer season. That gives much more permission for those around you to feel safe within themselves. So this is going to be where we're going to be wanting to put our focus. Now, let's talk about what's going on with these cards. So we have some really playful energy here. It's kind of like beginner energy, beginning of a new adventure, the beginning of a new leg of the journey. So a lot of new beginnings are showing up in these cards, like new energetic cycles. First one, creativity, which can look so many different ways depending on what your creative outlets are, whether it's to organize things or to paint or to perform or to dream in your own private space. Creativity shows up in so many different ways. But the Page of Wands is the beginner energy of just getting started. And one of the ways you may find to kind of express yourself and check in with who you're becoming is to just start on that project or idea that's been kind of ruminating. Just see what happens. Just put some color on the page, just splotch some things around and see what comes out. And so I love working with Page of Wands energy because it's not about the outcome. It's not about control. It's not about worrying how you're going to like facilitate the whole thing. It's just about getting started. Now, here's the thing. I think there's a lot of vulnerability in getting started. There's a lot of vulnerability in just, here I am. This is who I am. Woo! And with that comes some night thoughts. And, you know, I was thinking about it because I did a post on Instagram a few weeks ago, like a week ago, about night thoughts. And I had to get up and like write them in a journal because they were just keeping me awake. And I realized too that part of the reason I was having like a lot more night thoughts is because I was hanging out with some new people, new friends that I don't know very well yet. And I'm just being like my dorky like self. And I realized like the more that I'm just letting myself be who I am and just talk when I want to talk and not talk when I don't want to talk, like it's a very vulnerable thing. And at the end of the day, when I got in bed, I was like I was having a little vulnerability hangover, and those night thoughts came up. And my point being here, so I'm just like storytelling Sarah today, is that when we just are like, here I am, this is it, this is what you got, it is vulnerable. And there is a nervous part of us that wants to keep us safe by overthinking it, by those repetitive, anxious thoughts, right? There are no new stressful thoughts. They're always kind of the same ones circling around. I think it's very natural. But here's the thing. Don't let that stop you. I highly recommend writing down your stressful thoughts, because when you read them for what they are, you realize like, this doesn't have much to say. Here's the thing. Keep going. Keep going. Keep being you. Keep creating, because Knight of Cups, Six of Wands, this is prevailing energy, right? Whatever storms, whatever questions may be coming up for you right now as we're navigating this new energetic cycle, and we are starting to get our footing in like the next version of this world that we're all figuring out. You want to keep going. The Knight of Cups is obviously romantic as can be. Like, this is such an infusion of love and romance and connection and truth, love, and beauty, right? And the Six of Wands is coming out of the storm, surviving the battle, with your head held high. And what I see in all these cards, these three others that are not the Nine of Swords, every single one of them, they're all looking the same direction. They all have their head up high. They all have themselves to offer. And they're just showing up fully at the table where they want to show up. Not self-edited, not trying to please everybody else, not trying to nurture and care for everybody else first and then yourself last, but just being you. I think we undervalue the power of that so often. That we help others by helping ourselves. That we draw in the people that are meant for us and the situations that are meant for us when we know we're meant for ourselves. And I think this type of holding your head up high, pulling your shoulders back, and just being like, yeah, this is who I am, baby. It is a bit defiant to culture. It is a bit defiant to the story that we've got to accommodate everybody all the time to earn our keep. There is a kind of badass nature to the whole thing. And it's liberating. It is the way to move forward. So I think for me, we could really overthink June and be like, oh, it's got to be a cocoon. So that means I've got to work through everything. And then I got to be ready for Cancer season. And I got to do this. 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 But I think that it's simple. Take care of yourself. Be who you are. Notice when you feel like you need to self-edit, and then don't worry about it. Don't worry about self-editing, and see what happens. The experiment here is to trust yourself enough to be yourself and see what happens. You have so much support here. You have so much support here. And there's no reason this can't be an amazing time for you in the coming weeks. I am just wishing you such a beautiful beginning to your season. I'm really looking forward to working with that energy more and more. This is a big vision energy month for you. And so it's a great time to be inserting yourself into that big picture. I'm going to be offering a lot of support on my Patreon. So if you're looking for a community, a way to connect with me more, I would love to see you there. It's a really wonderful space for me to catch up with you all. You can also find me on my Instagram and my website. So I'll leave all those links below, as well as PinkLune's gorgeous jewelry. I love you guys. And I'm right there with you on the journey. And I will see you all in July for more Cancer season ahead. How exciting. Sending you my love.